Perhaps the most striking observation, though, was how Shedeur handles himself mentally. He's calm under pressure, poised when mistakes happen, and confident without being cocky. NFL defenses are fast, complex, and unforgiving, yet he's showing that he can process information quickly and make smart decisions in real time. Combine that mental approach with elite accuracy and touch, and you begin to see why Mary Kay went from doubting him to publicly praising his readiness. In short, what's happening in practice is a story of transformation. Critics outside the facility may still doubt him, but inside, a young quarterback is quietly proving himself day after day. His work ethic, skill development, and leadership are laying the foundation for something much bigger, and if the Browns need him sooner rather than later, he may be ready to seize that opportunity without hesitation. For months leading up to the draft, the story around Shedeur Sanders was almost predictable. Critics painted him as a fifth-round project, a kid who wasn't ready for the speed of the NFL, and someone only in the league because of his father's legendary status. Analysts debated whether he could handle pressure, questioned his pre-snap reads, and even labeled him entitled. It was a narrative that fit neatly into the media's expectations. A young quarterback with a famous last name, supposedly riding on privilege rather than talent. But as Mary Kay Catt's recent reporting makes clear, that narrative is collapsing in real time. What's remarkable is how Shedeur himself approached the pre-draft process. This wasn't a player passively waiting for a team to pick him. According to reports, he was actively pursuing the Cleveland Browns, building relationships with key staff, and showing a level of foresight that goes beyond raw athletic ability. He wasn't just looking for any team. He was seeking the right situation, a place where he could develop, contribute, and eventually start. Choosing Cleveland over Baltimore, despite the Ravens' success and reputation, wasn't about entitlement. It was about strategy. And then there's Deion Sanders' involvement. Many assumed that calls from a famous father were simply nepotism or interference, but the reality is more calculated. Deion personally called the Ravens to ensure Shedeur wouldn't be drafted into a situation where he'd sit behind Lamar Jackson for years. That move wasn't a tantrum. It was careful career management. It's the kind of decision that demonstrates long-term thinking and a clear understanding of Shedeur's value as a quarterback. Mary Kay's reporting sheds light on why the media narrative was so off base. The young quarterback who was dismissed as unprepared or entitled was, in fact, making strategic decisions, showing initiative, and actively positioning himself in the best environment for success. This flips the script entirely. What was once seen as privilege or arrogance now reads as vision, preparation, and maturity. The pre-draft narrative may have influenced public perception, but the reality inside the Browns organization is far different. Shedeur isn't just talented, he's focused, strategic, and ready to work. By challenging the assumptions made before the draft, he's quietly proving that perception isn't always reality, and that the story everyone thought they knew about him was just the beginning. One of the most striking aspects of Shedeur Sanders' journey so far is the level of skill he's demonstrating, skills that are already being recognized at the highest levels of analysis. Mary Kay Catt, the veteran reporter who once questioned his readiness, has now publicly praised his elite accuracy and uncanny touch. When a journalist with decades of experience covering Cleveland quarterbacks uses terms like elite, it's not a casual compliment. It's a signal that this young quarterback is showing something truly special. Accuracy is the first thing she highlights. Shedeur isn't just hitting open receivers, he's threading the ball into tight windows, adjusting on the fly, and showing a level of precision that many rookies struggle to achieve. The way he manipulates ball speed is another key factor. He can fire a fastball when needed to get the ball past defenders, or loft a soft, perfectly timed pass over coverage when the situation calls for finesse. This kind of technical skill, especially for a rookie, is rare and immediately noticeable to anyone paying attention. Mary Kay also emphasized Shedeur's ability to attack the middle of the field, something most young quarterbacks avoid. Many stick to sideline throws, safe checkdowns, and predictable routes, hesitant to risk turnovers or misreads. Not Shedeur. He shows the confidence to layer the ball into tight windows, read coverage with precision, and challenge defenses where others would hesitate. That ability alone separates a good quarterback from one with genuine potential to impact games immediately. But skills go beyond mechanics. They include decision-making, field awareness, and adaptability. Shedeur reads defenses quickly, reacts to shifting coverages, and adjusts his throws to maximize success. Mary Kay's observation that he feels ready to play isn't just about talent, it's about mental preparation. He understands the pace of the NFL, the speed of defensive reactions, and how to use his skills to give his team an advantage. Leadership and confidence amplify these abilities. In practice, he's commanding huddles, communicating with young receivers, and developing chemistry with the scout team. That kind of presence isn't taught. It's a combination of preparation, intelligence, and natural poise. Mary Kay notes that his approach isn't flashy or showy. It's consistent, reliable, and built on fundamentals. What makes this recognition so powerful is the source. Mary Kay Cat has seen hundreds of quarterbacks come through Cleveland. She knows the difference between a talented rookie and one who's ready to make an immediate impact. For her to shift from skepticism to outright praise signals that Shedeur's combination of elite accuracy, touch, decision-making, and mental readiness is genuinely exceptional. In short, the narrative is changing, and the numbers, skills, and observations back it up. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a rookie with a famous last name. He's a quarterback demonstrating the technical skill, mental acumen, and leadership qualities to make a real impact. For fans, analysts, and even skeptics, this section of his development offers a clear message. The talent is undeniable, and the potential is ready to be unleashed. Beyond raw talent, one of the most impressive aspects of Shedeur Sanders' rise is the way he's building leadership and team chemistry. Mary Kay Cat has highlighted this repeatedly, noting that his impact isn't limited to throws and mechanics. It extends to how he connects with his teammates and influences the locker room. From the moment he stepped into the Browns' facility, Shedeur has been focused not just on his own development, but on elevating everyone around him. In practice, he's constantly communicating with young receivers, learning their tendencies, and adjusting his timing to maximize success. This isn't something every rookie quarterback does. It requires patience, observation, and a willingness to listen. By building these relationships early, Shedeur is laying the foundation for a cohesive offense, one where trust and timing can make all the difference on game day. Mary Kay noted that he's already developing chemistry with players who could be key parts of the Browns' future, suggesting that the impact of his leadership could extend far beyond a single season. Leadership isn't just about communication, it's about poise under pressure. Shedeur demonstrates calmness in practice, even when things don't go perfectly. Mistakes are treated as learning opportunities, not setbacks. That mentality spreads to the team, creating an environment where young players feel supported, encouraged, and motivated to push themselves. Mary Kay observed that his presence commands attention without demanding it, inspiring confidence and respect organically. Another key factor is his work ethic, which is integral to leadership. Shedeur is putting in extra reps, staying late to study film, and showing dedication that doesn't go unnoticed by coaches or teammates. Leadership isn't only about giving orders, it's about setting an example. By consistently demonstrating preparation, focus, and commitment, he's influencing the team culture in a positive way, showing that effort and discipline are just as important as natural talent. In short, Shedeur's leadership and chemistry with the team complement his physical skills perfectly. He's not just a talented rookie quarterback, he's a player who can lift those around him, build trust, and create an environment where young players thrive. In a league where teamwork and communication are just as critical as talent, this combination of skill, poise, and leadership is exactly what separates a good quarterback from one who can truly transform a team. One of the most fascinating aspects of Shedeur Sanders' story is the stark contrast between what the media has said and what's actually happening behind the scenes. For months, NFL analysts and reporters ran with a narrative that portrayed him as entitled, unprepared, and riding on his father's reputation. Critics suggested he lacked the mental toughness, the skill, or the work ethic to succeed at the professional level. Headlines painted a picture of a young quarterback who might never be ready to handle NFL defenses, and fans repeated that storyline as if it were fact. But reality tells a very different story. Mary Kay Catt, the reporter who knows Cleveland quarterbacks better than almost anyone, has observed Shedeur day in and day out. Her reporting now directly challenges the earlier narrative, emphasizing that he is not only talented but also strategic, hardworking, and ready to compete. The perception of entitlement crumbles when you see a quarterback actively pursuing the Browns, building relationships with staff, studying the playbook, and putting in extra work to develop chemistry with young receivers. What looked like arrogance from afar is actually intelligence and career foresight. Even the Ravens situation, which was widely criticized, highlights how the narrative was misleading. Deion Sanders personally called Baltimore, instructing them not to draft Shedeur. Critics framed this as overprotectiveness or nepotism, but Mary Kay's reporting shows it was a calculated career decision. Sitting behind a superstar quarterback like Lamar Jackson for years wouldn't have been beneficial for Shedeur's development. This wasn't entitlement, it was strategic thinking, and it underscores a level of maturity that the media often overlooked. The difference between perception and reality here is huge. Outside the facility, Shedeur was labeled a project, questioned on readiness, and dismissed by skeptics. Inside, he was developing skills, building leadership, earning respect, and preparing meticulously for his chance. Mary Kay's shift from doubt to praise exemplifies this gap. The media narrative painted one picture, but first-hand observation revealed the truth. This contrast matters because it changes how fans and analysts should approach evaluating him. The story isn't about hype or privilege. It's about talent, preparation, and strategic decisions paying off. Shedeur Sanders isn't the product of narrative exaggeration. He's a quarterback quietly proving the skeptics wrong, reshaping the conversation, and showing that reality can be far more compelling than the headlines suggest. As the NFL season approaches, one of the biggest questions on fans' minds is whether Shedeur Sanders will actually see the field this year. Mary Kay Catt's recent reporting offers a fascinating perspective. While nothing is guaranteed, there is a genuine possibility that Shedeur could play sooner than many expect. This isn't about a desperate team scrambling for answers. It's about a quarterback who has put in the work, developed his skills, and positioned himself as a legitimate option for the Browns' offense. The context matters. Joe Flacco, the current starter, has struggled this season, with the offense averaging low points per game and failing to find rhythm. Mary Kay doesn't sugarcoat this reality. She acknowledges that the team's performance might create opportunities for a change, and when you combine that with Shedeur's reported readiness, the potential for him to get snaps isn't just speculation, it's a logical possibility. He has the accuracy, touch, and mental preparation to step in and contribute, even if only in specific packages or situations at first. Mary Kay's observations and practice suggest that Shedeur isn't merely playing catch-up or being groomed for a distant future. He's actively working with young receivers, developing chemistry, and demonstrating leadership that could translate directly into game situations. The Browns have invested in his development, and the results are clear. He's learning the offense, making smart decisions, and showing confidence under pressure. That combination of preparation and skill means that if the coaching staff feels the need, they can insert him into game scenarios without it being a reckless move. It's also important to understand that seeing the field doesn't have to mean starting immediately. Shedeur could be used in controlled packages, short yardage situations, or rotational snaps designed to ease him into the NFL's pace. These early opportunities would allow him to showcase his ability without exposing him to unnecessary risk, and they could accelerate both his development and the Browns' offensive output. Mary Kay frames it as a calculated evaluation rather than a gamble, one that could benefit both the player and the team. For fans, this possibility is electrifying. Shedeur stepping onto the field would not just validate his work in practice, it would also signal a major shift in the narrative surrounding him. The same rookie once criticized for being unprepared could now demonstrate in real games what Mary Kay has been observing firsthand. The question is just, will he play? It's, how soon will he be ready to make an impact? In short, the stars seem aligned for Shedeur to get his opportunity this season, whether in limited snaps or situational packages. He's prepared, skilled, and mentally ready, and Mary Kay's reporting makes it clear that the Browns have options. This isn't just a story of potential. It's a story of a young quarterback whose hard work, strategy, and talent may finally be rewarded with a real chance to prove himself in the NFL. Perhaps the most compelling aspect of Shedeur Sanders' story isn't just his talent or preparation. It's the dramatic shift in narrative that's finally taking place. For months, critics and media alike painted a picture of a rookie quarterback who was unprepared, entitled, and riding on his father's fame. That story dominated headlines, social media, and fan conversations, creating an almost insurmountable perception barrier for Shedeur. But now, Mary Kay Catt's reporting is rewriting that narrative, and the implications are massive, not just for him, but for the way the NFL views young quarterbacks with pedigree and potential. Mary Kay's praise isn't vague or superficial. She's highlighting specific skills, elite accuracy, touch, field vision, and leadership. She's witnessing a young quarterback working diligently behind the scenes, building chemistry with teammates, and handling pressure in a way that suggests readiness for real game situations. When a reporter who was once his harshest critic shifts to outright validation, it's more than just recognition, it's vindication. Suddenly, all the previous doubts, criticisms, and skepticism look like they were based more on perception than reality. This shift also extends beyond technical skills. The narrative around Shedeur's decision-making has changed dramatically. Choosing Cleveland over Baltimore, pursuing the team actively, and Deion Sanders' strategic involvement all reflect foresight, intelligence, and career management. What was once criticized as entitlement now reads as careful planning and vision. Mary Kay frames it perfectly. This isn't a reckless rookie making impulsive moves. It's a quarterback and family thinking strategically about development and opportunity. The effect of this changing narrative goes further. It reshapes the way fans, analysts, and even future evaluators will view Shedeur. The story that was once about privilege and doubt is now about preparation, skill, and maturity. Every practice rep, every throw with the scout team, and every interaction with teammates becomes part of a broader picture. A young quarterback quietly proving skeptics wrong, day after day. The validation from someone with Mary Kay's experience amplifies this transformation, giving it legitimacy that social media buzz or highlight reels alone could never achieve.
If you enjoyed today's breakdown and want to keep up with all the drama, trades, and behind-the-scenes action in the NFL, then don't forget to hit that like button.
Ultimately, this isn't just about Shedeur Sanders proving himself to critics. It's about rewriting the conversation around potential, talent, and preparation. The rookie who was once questioned at every turn is now being recognized for exactly what his supporters always believed, that he's capable, prepared, and ready to contribute at the highest level. This vindication is hypothetical. It's based on real observations, hard work, and consistent performance. The lesson here is clear. Narratives can change when preparation meets opportunity. Shedeur Sanders' journey is a case study in perseverance, strategy, and skill translating into recognition. The story that once seemed so one-sided is now multidimensional, and the young quarterback who was underestimated is finally receiving the acknowledgement he has earned. For fans and analysts alike, this is more than news. It's a transformation in real time, and one that signals a bright future ahead for Shedeur Sanders and the Browns organization. The story of Shedeur Sanders isn't just about a rookie quarterback trying to make his mark in the NFL. It's about perception, preparation, and the way narratives can shift when the truth is finally revealed. From the pre-draft criticisms to the skepticism surrounding his readiness, Shedeur has faced a mountain of doubt from media, fans, and even casual observers. Yet behind the scenes, the reality has been completely different. A quarterback quietly working, learning, and preparing himself to seize the opportunity when it arrives. Mary Kay Catt's recent reporting crystallizes this journey. Her shift from doubt to praise isn't minor. It's a signal that the narrative surrounding Shedeur is changing in a meaningful way. She highlights his elite accuracy, uncanny touch, and ability to attack defenses in ways many young quarterbacks avoid. She notes his leadership, his chemistry with teammates, and his readiness to step onto the field if called upon. When a reporter of her experience and credibility validates a player in this way, it's more than just recognition. It's proof that hard work, strategy, and skill are translating into tangible results. This transformation goes beyond individual accolades. Shedeur's decisions, actively pursuing Cleveland, working with young receivers, and positioning himself strategically for early playing opportunities, demonstrate intelligence and foresight. What was once framed as entitlement or privilege is now understood as calculated career management. That shift alone tells a larger story about how the NFL evaluates talent and how perceptions can be misleading when they overlook context, preparation, and mindset. The broader takeaway is inspiring. Shedeur Sanders' journey reminds us that narratives are never static. A player labeled as a project can prove readiness through consistent effort, adaptability, and leadership. Critics may dominate headlines, but the work done behind the scenes often speaks louder than speculation. The rookie who was doubted at every turn is now positioned to show the league what he can truly do. And Mary Kay's reporting gives fans and analysts alike a credible lens through which to see it. Ultimately, the question is no longer whether Shedeur belongs in the NFL. It's about how soon he will get his chance to prove it. His story is a testament to preparation meeting opportunity, skill matching mindset, and intelligence guiding strategy. For the Browns, for fans, and for Shedeur himself, the future is filled with potential, and the foundation has been laid for a young quarterback to make a real impact. This is the crossroads. A narrative once dominated by doubt has shifted to one of validation, growth, and readiness. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a name on a roster. He's a player whose story is unfolding in real time, and the next chapter could redefine the Browns, offense, and the perception of rookie quarterbacks everywhere. The transformation is real. The narrative has shifted. And for anyone paying attention, one thing is clear. Shedeur Sanders is ready for whatever comes next.
If you enjoyed today's breakdown and want to keep up with all the drama, trades, and behind-the-scenes action in the NFL, then don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps this channel grow and lets us know you love this kind of content. And hey, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with your friends, your group chats, or anyone who loves football as much as you do. The more the conversation spreads, the better it gets. Most importantly, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss when we drop fresh stories, wild rumors, or breaking updates that the mainstream media won't talk about.